Hello YouTubers. I wanted to do my first video and I'm giving you a look at my dog who wants to help a lot by being right there. He's actually sleeping on one of my items, so we'll see if I can get it out from under him. Anyway, this is my very first video, and I'm going to be very shaky and new and very inexperienced, so please be gentle and hopefully you enjoy it anyway. I'm doing a collab video with Bargain Beauty, who is a YouTuber I enjoy very, very much. She's a lifestyle YouTuber, I think they call them, and she does a lot of hauls, and she does dumpster diving, which I love too, and she does thrifting and Dollar Tree and a lot of the items that a lot of us do. Anyhow, she came up with this brilliant idea to do a collab video called Dozen to Donate, and it's basically where you find a dozen items around your home to donate to something of your choice. My choice is animals. I love them. I love my dogs. They mean the world to me. They're my true companions. They have been there through my rough times and my happy times, and I just love them to death. And this one is one of them. I have 2 dogs and several little animals also around the house. But this is Banksy, named after the great graffiti artist Banksy. And he is a boxer, and I love him. And I have a Boston Terrier who's somewhere else in the house and sleeping, of course, because it's a rainy day, and that's why the lighting completely sucks. But we're going to have to do it today because it's the only day I have to do this. Anyhow, so Orca is my Boston Terrier, and I'll talk about him more in a minute. But anyway, so let's get started. Actually, I'll just go ahead and tell you about the item underneath Banksy. It's an old ratty fleece blanket that I'm sending to the animal shelter. And if you have old blankets and towels and things like that, which I'll have more of those here in a second, think about saving them for the animal shelter, because I used to work in that industry. It was a very sad time in my life. I couldn't do it for many years. I ended up, after college, going into some other area. But I did it for many, many years in different capacities, in different states. And I love animals. I've loved them my entire life. And working in the animal shelter, it seems like it's such a contradiction to if somebody loves animals. Because I worked for municipal ones, and they are not... I mean, I don't want to say they're not animal friendly, because I mean, there's very good aspects of what they do, but at the same time, they are, back in the day when I did it, which is in the early 90s, there wasn't as much reform on them. That, you know, for one, pit bulls did not get second chances, and I'm so happy to see that they did, because I'll actually tell you what we used to do was name them something else breed, like terrier mix or boxer mix or, you know, lab mix, you know, even though we knew perfectly well they were full pits. Or American Staffordshire Terriers, or in one of those related breeds, because so many of them were so sweet, and they deserved to have good homes, and they did. They went on to have really good homes with families, and we had a lot of success stories on that. But but so many of them did not, because of the fact of what their breed was. And anyway, so I'm getting off on a tangent, but I'm so happy to see that people are trying to change that, and it has remarkably changed in the last couple decades since I worked in that industry. But anyway, back in those days, any kind of donations we could get for animals was always appreciated, because there's only so much budget when you work for a government to be able to do what you want to do for the animals. And so when we always gave them a blanket, we always gave the kitties a towel. We used the towels for cleanup. We needed those items. They were just absolutely needed. So if you have them around the house, you'll notice on your websites of your local humane societies or related agencies, their wish list almost always includes blankets and towels. So anyway, that's just my soapbox about animal shelters. But do donate to them, because they, like everybody else, are operating on probably a smaller budget than what they have in the past, just because that's the nature of our society at the moment. But anyway, so let's get on with it without me keep going on and on about that. So underneath Banksy is a ratty blanket that is, I mean, there's no holes in it or anything. It's just been washed a million times, and honestly, I cannot stand fleece blankets. My kids love them, but we have so many of them, and I like quilts, but the feel of a fleece just feels weird to me when I sleep with them. So I decided to get rid of the ratty ones. I'm keeping the nicer ones for my kids, but the ratty ones are all going to the animal shelter. Anyway, so that's number 1 item. Number 2 is a ratty towel, one that also no holes in it, but it's been washed countless times, and I had a whole bag of these to give to the animal shelter, and I was looking everywhere for them, and I couldn't find them, and then I realized I had stuck them with some donations that my friend took over to a thrift store for me. I accidentally included those, so unfortunately they're not going to get the rest of the towels, which is what they were meant for, but anyhow, that clears out another one out of my linen closet, which is really small, and I kind of pared it down. I've been trying to minimize, which for me is, I would say I'm like borderline hoarder. I like to thrift shop and I like things and all that. So for me to go through and minimize some things is not exactly easy, but I'm starting to love the feel of the clean spaces in my house. So that's a good thing. Anyway, so the next item, getting on with this, is a box that Banksy keeps looking at with worry because I'm giving away his milk bones. But I actually bought 2 boxes of these giant 60-ounce boxes of milk bones. These are like giving the equivalent of feeding your children candy, but my dogs love them, and we give them as treats. I do buy healthier treats for them as well, but they just love these gravy bones. Actually, my dog sitter discovered that, so I started buying them for them because it makes them happy, and I want them to be happy. And also, look, it has a Boston Terrier on it, and I have a Boston Terrier who's not making an appearance in this video, but anyhow, I bought these 2 big boxes at a store we have here in the Midwest called Ollie's. It's kind of like a Big Lots. It's like a outlet type store, retail store. They were fairly cheap and for what you get. And I bought 2 boxes, one to give to the animal shelter, one for us to pig out on, I guess. My animals anyway, not me. The other item is some Kleenexes. So this is item number 4. I actually bought a bunch of these big packs for my kids' schools. My older one is in high school, and I don't think they required them. But my younger one is in his last year of elementary school, and they still require the Kleenexes for their school supplies. And the teacher actually just requested recently, they've gone through their stash due to the flu season that we've had, which has been awful. So I sent a gift card, just easier, with my kid to give to the teacher to get some more items because they needed hand sanitizer, things like that. And I didn't know what she was getting from other parents, so it's just easier to send a gift card to the Dollar Tree. Anyway, so I just had these leftover puffs, and I don't really use Kleenexes here. I mean, if we had them, we'd probably use them. I mean, if they were open and all that. But I don't know. We've just always used toilet paper. So anyhow, these are going to go over to the animal shelter. And hopefully they can use them for their lobby or for if somebody brings in a pet and is crying, because believe me, from my experience back in those days, there are times when you can't stop crying and you need a Kleenex. It's just the nature of animals. We're very emotionally attached to animals. It's what reason I couldn't stay in that field. I had to actually go into the plant world. I'm a biologist. I work with plants, which is a lot less emotionally taxing than working with animals. So anyway, I figured they could use those. The other items are all food items. Let's just start with these. This is a cat treat. I'm sorry, there's like a glare. Temptations turkey flavor. These were actually a free Friday download from Kroger. I always pick up the cat items even though I don't have a cat at the current times. I love cats. I would love to have a cat. I would adopt a bunch of cats probably. I would be a total cat lady and a dog lady and a lot of other animal ladies. But my Boston Terrier, who I mentioned, his name Orca, he is not friendly with cats. It's really sad for me because I think Banksy, my boxer, would love them and he would probably cuddle with them and he would be fine with them. But my little Boston Terrier is a mighty little guy and he's just not cat friendly. I don't know what it is and it makes me sad, but I can't have cats because of him. I would never want to subject a cat to him or him to a cat and me be broken if something happened to the cat. So until he's older and isn't no longer interested in cats, or he's going on 7. So he's still got quite a few years to go. Maybe in the future I'll have a cat again. But for now, anyway, I pick up these free downloads and I give them away to people I know who have cats. Or I save them for the animal shelter donation box. So that's where this has been for a while now, and I need to get it over there with the other items. And that's the same with this Beneful. I don't feed my dogs canned dog food because I don't think their systems can handle it. They eat just the dry, and then I give them handouts. I know that's bad, but some people might say that's bad, but my dogs are pretty happy. I'm a vegetarian, so most of the stuff I give them is fairly healthy and vegetable based, like apples and carrots and things like that. I try not to give them too much junk food, especially if I'm feeding them the milk bones. But anyway, this stuff I wouldn't even take a chance on. I mean, they can't even handle the grain-free salmon dog food. It's pretty stinky around them if they eat that stuff, which is sad because they love it, love it, love it. They gobble it down, but their system can't handle it, and I can't handle the smell. So this is going to the animal shelter for some little dog that's stressed out and needs something just tasty, maybe to mix in with his food to get him to eat or something like that. So this was also a free Friday download thing that I picked up a while back, and it's been sitting around in my donation box waiting to go over to the animal shelter. And that's where it's going. The next item is actually a can of tuna. I said I'm a vegetarian. I have no idea when I acquired this. It's still good. The date on it is still good. I don't know if it was maybe a free Friday thing, or if I bought it for my kids during the summer. You know, I send them lunches to their summer camp, and I may have picked it up last summer for that. I have no idea. But anyway, I'm never going to eat it. It's sitting in my pantry. There's some kitties that might like it, and that's going to go over there to make them happy. The next item is also a free Friday download, and it was a Friskies. Oh no, actually, I did buy this. I bought it because we have a lot of stray cats in our neighborhood. I live in a very urban area. I bought a historic home in the urban area of my city. It's a very underserved area. It's very poor, and there's just like stray animals everywhere. So being the animal lover that I am constantly feeding the animals. And there was a cat that was hanging around, and I bought this for him because he looked kind of hungry. He was wild. We have that program where you can have an agency come out and trap the cats, and they spay and neuter them, and then they re-release them back into their neighborhoods, their homes. I think that's a great program. Again, that was like back in the 90s when I worked in the animal shelter business. I had so many cats come in that were wild. They were never going to be able to be adopted out. They just were not human friendly. They had never been around humans. They had lived their life in being feral, and we couldn't give them homes. And so I don't even want to talk about what happened to them, but I'm so happy about these changes. They're definitely improvements to do like a sterilization program for stray cats, feral cats, because they do get along just fine in their neighborhood. They learn to cross the street without getting hit, and they learn to hunt mice and rats, and they keep the rat and mice populations down in the neighborhoods, which is a problem with urban neighborhoods. Houses are close together. There's a lot of garbage, so the cats do a service for our neighborhood. So anyway, I had bought this to feed a cat that looked a little under the weather during the wintertime, and he didn't disappear, so I haven't seen him for a while. But so I've had this sitting around, the last of what I had bought, and so it's going to go to the animal shelter with other stuff. Last, I have a whole bag of these tissue paper rolls. I have some paper towel rolls as well. They use them for enrichment activities, and that they're actually on the wish list. So I started saving them for them to put in the donation box with the other items, and they're going to go on to the animal shelter for I think it's the cats to play with. So that's my other item. And then the last three items are all more fleece. These are those little blankets that are cheap that you can buy at like Walmart or wherever, Target. This one is an Avengers fleece blanket. I bought these when my kids were little. They used to like wrap themselves around them while they watch TV and things like that. And they're just getting older now, and they just don't do that as much. So this is the Avengers. My kids are DC fans, but they'll take Avengers in a pinch, but they'll ultimately always be the DC fans than the Marvel fans. So that's going to the animal shelter. This one is a Lego fleece, which I won't unfold. There's no point in that. Animal shelter. The last one is an army one. I have no idea why we bought an army one, but maybe it was cheap and we were camping or something like that. Needed some extra warmth. I don't know. But it's going to the animal shelter. Some cat or dog is going to love laying on these. Again, back to my little rant about blankets and towels. Save them for the animal shelter. They really do need them. So that's my 12 items. Dozen to donate. I'm donating to one of our local animal shelters. I'm not sure which one yet. It'll probably be the Humane Society. But we have several here in my city to pick from. And I'm sure they all have a need. I may even do the municipal one because sometimes that one gets overlooked the most because it's sort of the the despised one, you know, that's the one where you get fines and that from the city. But those animals don't deserve that, and they deserve to have some comfort while they're there. And I actually have one other item that it would have made it a baker's dozen, I guess, to donate. But I have a thing of chicken feed. I had some chickens, which we're allowed in our city to have. And I had 2 hens, and unfortunately a raccoon earlier in the fall got inside my chicken coop. They're amazing animals that can get into like spots you wouldn't even think, so I have to rebuild the entire chicken coop. But unfortunately my 2 hens were attacked and didn't make it, and I'm just not ready to get more chickens. I enjoy them very much, but anyway, so I thought I would just take all the stuff I have for the chickens over to the animal shelter as well, because they actually, oddly enough, get a lot of chickens in, and they actually maintain a coop. I don't know if they adopt them out or not, but they actually maintain a chicken coop at the animal shelter, and it's a cute little coop, and there's always chickens in it. So roosters mainly, because we're actually allowed to have roosters here, but they can be a nuisance, as you know. They can crow very, very loudly, and not everyone's chicken friendly. I happen to love the sound because I was in Puerto Rico for a long time, and it was just a sound that I heard everywhere while I was there living, and I lived in the country for a while, and I had roosters. I just love the sound, but most of the neighbors, I'm not so sure would love it. They probably would call on you, even though we're allowed to have them, but they're not everyone is rooster friendly, especially when they crow at like 3 a.m. because of the city lights. But anyway, so because of that, the animal shelters are full of roosters. Anyway, so I'm going to take all that chicken stuff over as well, just to get it out of my house, and make sure something can use it before it goes bad. Anyhow, thanks for listening. If you're watching this video, I'm sorry if it's very difficult. I didn't get on it because I'm shy, and maybe in the future I do plan to do more videos. I hope. I'm really been wanting to do this for a while. My kids both are YouTubers, and they have been they're always telling me about things to look up that they think I'll enjoy, and have volunteered to help me do videos, and I don't know, I hadn't jumped in yet, but I thought this was a perfect opportunity because it's such a brilliant idea, and I just love Bargain Beauty, and I'm hoping to find some new YouTubers from her collab, and I'm looking forward to watching the other videos. So anyway, I don't want to make this too long. I'm sorry about the bad lighting. It's a super rainy day here, if I didn't mention that already. My dog is like right in the middle of all my stuff, but he's cuter than me. So, and I wanted to paint my nails for this, but I just ran out of time, and I'm so busy today, and I'm busy this weekend, and needs to go up on Sunday, and I wanted to get it done. So anyway, thank you for listening, and I'm sorry I'm rambling on. I will get better. You know, everybody starts somewhere, and this is my starting point. So it's probably like it's anything you do for the first time. It's going to take some practice, but I hope to get more comfortable and be able to do some haul videos. Like I said, I'm a huge thrifter. I've been a thrifter since I was 16 years old. I'm much older than that now, and I have never stopped. I love it. So actually I'll be going to the Goodwill outlet, city north of me here this weekend, today actually, later tonight, and maybe if I score anything good, I will do a video on it. I've been getting into junk journals too lately, so that's actually what I've got on my mental wish list at the outlet, and if I get some items, maybe I'll show them. I have a couple friends I want to make some junk journals for. So anyway, okay, I better go before I keep talking on and on and on. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I can't wait to watch the other videos on this collab. And thank you, Bargain Beauty, for giving some of us new lurkers a chance to jump in there and get on YouTube as well. So have a good day. Talk to you soon. Bye.